Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World, and welcome to another edition of World Talks. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and please join me and my guests on this next interview. As the European Parliament opens its June plenary session in Strasbourg, urgent debates focus on safeguarding democratic principles amid growing concerns about surveillance practices. Now, recent media reports from Poland highlights alleged leak of private political conversations and raise questions about the potential misuse of spyware such as Pegasus. Joining us today on TVP World to explore the wider implication for European democracy is Michał Wawrykiewicz, Polish MEP from the European People's Party, a constitutional lawyer and prominent voice on the rule of law issues in the EU. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So trying to understand this whole Pegasus saga is like diving into a 2,000 episode drama in its latest few episodes. Can you kind of catch us up to speed? What's the most current development when it comes to the use of the spyware and the alleged leaking of these information that's highly confidential?
Well, this is really interesting, especially when it comes to the timing of reveal of these tapes in the situation where we are discussing in Poland about potential irregularities in the electoral process. And we are facing this very serious topic. So in this time, all of these media related or affiliated with the Law and Justice Party are revealing these tapes. Let me remind you that these tapes were recorded by Secret Services, Central Bureau of Anti-Corruption in 2019 during the governance of Law and Justice Party with use of the Pegasus spyware, which was bought illegally from the funds from so-called Justice Fund. And it was proven that the whole process of these Pegasus, which was bought from this fund, was illegal. But right now we are dealing with the most important issue, which means that these tapes should not be kept by the special services for so many years. It should be destroyed immediately. And it was kept and it was delivered to these media affiliated with the Law and Justice. And this is the question, how it happened. And I think it is the task for the prosecutor office to check how it happened.
Right now, you alluded to the timing being quite crucial, seeing that there's an alleged electoral irregularities and there's also several thousand electoral protests taking place as we speak. Can you help us understand what ties these two incidents together and what were you kind of alluding to?
Well, I have filed my electoral protests yesterday in the building of the Supreme Court as well, because there are thousands of protests filed by citizens in Poland because we have many irregularities in the electoral process on the 1st of June. There are a lot of invalid ballots. It's a huge number of invalid ballots. They're changing in the results in the protocols in the electoral districts as well. There is an internet application which was prepared by a member of the parliament from the Law and Justice Party, Mr. Matecki. It was prepared to destroy the electoral process, not to allow to vote with the certification allowing to vote. So there are a lot of question marks. And having in mind that we are facing the most important choice in the politics of the head of state, of the president of Poland, we as citizens are entitled to know what was the result in these elections. That's why so huge amount of protest fight to the Supreme Court. But here comes the next problem, that we have a special chamber in the Supreme Court, which was created by Law and Justice in 2017. This is the Chamber of Extraordinary and Public Control, which, as I said, was created in 2017 and from the scratch, and there are only so-called neo-judges, illegally appointed judges inside this chamber. So according to the verdicts of the European courts, of the European Court of Human Rights and the Court of the European court in Luxembourg as well, it was certified that this chamber is not impartial court. So we have another problem, because this chamber, according to law, is the one who is to verify the electoral process and is to finally certify the validity of presidential election.
All right. So what does that ultimately mean? What do you think is going to come out of these electoral process? Do you think that it will lead in any sort of substantial change?
As far as you know, the difference between two candidates running for a presidency was very close.
Of course, it's a very thin margin. I'm wondering whether or not this protest will lead to, is it the goal to have a recount, or is to throw out the first results in order to conduct another one? What's the goal of these protests trying to achieve?
Well, in my opinion, the best solution would be recount of votes, of the ballots, especially in these electoral districts where the number of irregularities is potentially huge. But as a result of the proof that there are a lot of irregularities, maybe at the end of the process, all of the ballots should be recounted in the whole country. But as I said, it depends of the decision of this special chamber in the Supreme Court. So I do not count on that kind of decision, because this chamber is not an impartial and independent court. So it probably, very likely, will decide on the side of on the law and justice.
Right. Now, circling back to our previous topic about the use of Pegasus spyware and leaking of controversial or confidential information to the media, you were also alluding to the timing of it having coincided with this electoral protest. Can you help us also understand what's the connection right there?
Well, there is a huge debate about, as we discussed previously, about the irregularities in the electoral process. So these right-wing media related or affiliated with the Law and Justice are trying to focus attention on a completely different issue. But when we hear the content of these tapes, it is just a regular conversation between two politicians, between the current Prime Minister Donald Tusk and Roman Giertych, who is the attorney at law, who was his attorney at law at that time in 2019. It is also the confidence of the relation between an attorney and the client. So this is another topic in this situation. But first of all, it proves that this system, Pegasus spyware, was used against Polish opposition and all the political opponents of Law and Justice, and that these materials, these tapes that were recorded at that time, are still kept by the people who are connected to Law and Justice, and this is the serious problem for Polish democracy.
All right. Is there any legal system or barriers in place to kind of safeguard personal privacy of everyday citizens who are worried about the potential use of these sort of spyware by governmental institutions to kind of target them as well?
Well, I believe that after a reveal of this tape, Polish secret services and especially prosecutor office will deal with that problem and will have a solution within next couple of days and weeks, because it is a serious problem that these tapes, which, as I said previously, should be deleted, should be destroyed, are still in use and are still kept by some people who are connected with the special services and connected with these right-wing media.
And when it comes to the European Union perspective, have they tried to do anything in regards to, be it kind of safeguarding the process of democracy, or have they sounded off on this particular incident?
When it comes to this Pegasus spyware, you remember that we had here in the European Parliament a special committee that was investigating that issue, PEGA committee, and it is still working. So I believe that this topic will come back to the meeting of the PEGA committee again. But generally, when it comes to the protection of human rights and the rule of law, I want to say that we are going to vote tomorrow the European Parliament report on the rule of law, which also describes that kind of situation and provides some solution for the future. This is a very important report. I was one of the shadow rapporteurs working on that report, so I believe that the protection of the rule of law and the protection of human rights in that dimension that we are talking about will be still on the agenda of the European Parliament as one of the most important topics which we are dealing here in the European Union institutions.
All right, so we'll have to see how that unfolds by that time. But in the meantime, thank you so much for your input and insight. Really appreciate it. And thanks for being with us on TVP World.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. And thank you for tuning into this edition of World Talks. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.